All right, welcome to the Young Old Heads podcast, episode 15. Happy to be back, and my name is Ben Thompson.
It's your boy Jay Fair.
That's your boy Uncle Jerry.
All right, today we're going to be covering a couple topics. We're going to kick it off with college basketball first because everyone loves March Madness. We're going to follow that up with some NFL talk, a little bit of NBA talk since the season's coming to a conclusion, and we're going to wrap it up with just a couple various other sports talks around the entertainment field. But this is Jerry and James Field, so I'm gonna let Jerry kick it off for college basketball.
Jerry. Before we start, I just gotta say, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. When nobody thought we could, we did it. When everybody doubted us, we did it. Bill Self had to call our team soft in the beginning of the season, and he said he took that back on Sunday. But that team that played in November, December was soft. This is not the same basketball team. What can I say about Malik Newman scoring 13 points in overtime to lead the team? Devontae Graham being that constant guy leading from the point. So I think we got a chance. I mean, I definitely think whoever comes out of the late cap on Saturday, which will be the Villanova-Kansas game, will go into Monday night as a favorite. I think that Loyola has made a great run, and as much as I love Sister Jean and I love a good upset and Cinderella story, as well as what Michigan has been able to do, I just still do not believe that they will be able to match up with either of those other two teams coming out of that late cap. What you got to say about it, James?
First of all, Jerry Childish for wearing that hat. First of all, you know I'm sensitive about Duke. First of all, shout out to my Duke boys, man. Good season, Elite Eight. Went farther than weak ass Tar Heels, so that's all that matters. But, keep to the games, man. Hats off to Kansas. Villanova, man, they're a team to be reckoned with. Yeah. And those guards, they have big men who can step out as kind of like stretch forwards, hit the three. So that's whoever wins between Kansas and Villanova. That's your national champion, hands down. Michigan, I did not expect them to be in the Final Four. They very surprised me. I owe them a lot of respect because I was definitely trashing them. And to Sister Jean, I'm sorry to you, but y'all play Michigan. I know Twitter gonna get her the crying Jordan face, so I can't wait to retweet no memes.
That's gonna be so disrespectful. That's so disrespectful.
Sister Jean, though, she don't deserve that, but it's gonna happen. But no, man, I can't wait for this Final Four. Kansas and Villanova, I can't wait to tune in for that one.
Yeah,
and like that's a toss up. I could keep going back and forth. You know, Brunson against Devontae Graham, like something's got to give. Two battlers, two kids that's been in college, two veteran point guards in college. They're gonna go back and forth. I'm ready to see it. But prediction, I got Villanova as national champions once again. I mean, I don't want to do that to Kansas, but I think it's Villanova's year.
All right, I'll throw my little 1 cent, can't even call it 2 cents, but
a half a cent.
I'll be honest, out of these 4 teams, I know one player, and that's Sister Jean. So shout out to her blessed heart. Kansas versus Villanova. I'm gonna give it to Villanova just because I'm petty versus Jerry. As far as Loyola-Chicago, I want one of those teams to end up winning it all, but I'm gonna go for Loyola just because they got some mad energy right now, you know. And I'll be honest, their jersey's kind of crispy too, so I gotta give it to them on that. But yeah, I'm hoping one of those underdogs can pull it out against whoever wins that Kansas Villanova game. I think it'd be pretty good for college basketball to see some teams that low pull it out and change things up and shake things up. So yeah.
One more thing, Michigan not winning the national championship until Chris Webber tell us the true story about the timeout.
Is it the Webber curse? Is
it
the Webber curse? The Webber curse. Oh gosh, yeah.
All right. Moving on, we had a couple early NBA draft entrants today. We'll start off with the higher talent of the two, Michael Porter Jr. He didn't play much this year, but he was a big time recruit coming out of high school. Kid has a ton of talent, and I don't think anyone expects him to fall outside of the top 5, 10, or whatever. I know it's a deep class, but that kid's going to get drafted early. So, what do you guys think about Michael Porter Jr. Declaring early? Start with you, James.
I think it's smart because one, he got injured. I mean, I know he wants to go back to Missouri. I think his dad was on the coaching staff, so he missed out on that opportunity to play for his father. But I think it's a smart move. Go to the NBA. Don't miss your opportunity. I feel like he's going to go to a good situation. I mean, my bold prediction: you're going to have LeBron James leaving this summer. So he's gonna leave this summer, and you can see the next coming in Cleveland. Because Cleveland's always lucky. When LeBron left, they got Kyrie Irving. So when LeBron leaves, gonna get Michael Porter Jr. He's definitely gonna build his brand there, and LeBron's probably gonna move on to LA, have some fun with his life, produce some movies while playing basketball. But yeah, I think his kid's gonna be really solid, good career. Not sure if he'd be a superstar, but he's gonna be at least 4 or 5 time All Star.
Okay. What about you, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm gonna back up a lot of what James said. He is legit. He's a legit athlete. I think we were kind of shorted this year in seeing his his natural development, just in the fact that he was dealing with that injury. But I think he's a legit talent. Don't see him falling out of the top 5. I think he's going to go somewhere where he can produce from day one. That Cleveland Cavaliers role could be very interesting with him in Cleveland, going to a team that he knows is a contender and somebody that can compete from day one. Because I don't see LeBron staying in Northeast Cleveland. I know that's not going to be popular among a lot of people, but I think his time is up there.
I gotta agree with you guys. I think he's gonna make a pretty big impact when he gets in the league, and he'll get drafted early. I think his situation is kind of similar to a former Cleveland Cavaliers. Since we're talking about the Cavs and Kyrie. Kyrie didn't really he played maybe 2 games in college, if that.
11.
If it, 11 games, okay.
11. Yeah, he played a little
A
more
few
than 3.
games.
A little more than 3.
Few games, whatever. Okay. So he played 11 games, felt like 2. Anyway, he got very little college experience. Same with Porter Jr. I'm not sure he'll have the same impact as Kyrie coming out, but the kid's definitely got good size, length, and he's got a ton of talent. Moving on to my favorite of the early NBA entrants, it's that boy Jello Ball, LiAngelo Ball out of Lithuania European Ball. He is
What's that?
Lithuania.
Okay.
One of them Eastern European teams. I'll put it like that. Anyway, I'm gonna touch on Jello first because I rep the big baller brand, But he picked a great day to declare. He dropped 72 points today. I mean, that's impressive no matter where you do it. So I don't want to see them hating faces. Dropped 72 today. Professional game. That's big time stuff. In December, I think it was Adrian Wojnarowski. He tweeted that there's absolutely no chance that LiAngelo gets drafted. So hoping he's wrong. That guy's a know-it-all. He has a bunch of connections in NBA teams. But I don't know. Jello's been balling out. I'm not saying he'll be first round. I'm not saying he gets drafted at all. But I do hope he at least gets on a G League team or something. Give him a chance. I don't want that UCLA incident to really mess up what his career could be. But at the end of the day, he might just be a European ball type player, so he might just stay over there. What do you got on it, Jerry?
Let's get this straight. The reason why he is going to go undrafted is not because of what happened at UCLA or in China. Man, that is not the main reason of why he's not going to go drafted. The main reason of why he's not going to go drafted is because it's a tough draft class, and he's a developmental player. You can't waste a draft pick in the class that's coming out on a developmental player. He's going to be a G League type of guy. And that has nothing to do with what happened at UCLA. Does that hurt his brand? Yes. With some people. His father being the type of character that he is hurts his brand with certain people. But I mean, if the kid can play, people would take a chance on him. We saw that with Lonzo and the Lakers and what Magic did. So what happened in China is that's extra talk there. The fact of the matter is, point blank, he just isn't he isn't as talented a player as his brothers are.
How do you feel on the topic, James?
Look, I'm gonna keep it real and raw. The G League ball ain't going nowhere, bro. He's not getting drafted. He's not playing against 17 and 18-year-olds anymore. I never seen one defensive highlight from this man. He can't guard nobody, bro. Let's just be honest. He can't guard anybody. He's not gonna be able to just catch and shoot anymore. And this reminds me of one thing, man. Lonzo, but he always gonna be Lonzo Ball brother. People forget Blake Griffin got a brother. He ain't in the NBA. Klay Thompson got a brother. He in the G League. He following steps. He's gonna be that brother in the G League, bro. Bouncing around from team to team. But I'm not
I
buying the
think
hype.
I,
LaMelo's gonna be in the NBA. He's gonna be drafted. He's next up. Not LiAngelo. My bad. The G League at this moment. But
I think LiAngelo can make a little Seth Curry type of career.
don't
Just
disrespect
saying.
Steph Curry like that.
The-
Steph Curry went
please,
hard.
Just saying.
please
Just
do
saying.
not disrespect Wardell Curry's sons like that.
Okay, a lot of Jello hate tonight. I don't agree with any of that, LeVar. So just letting you know that. Moving on to the last college basketball topic. It's women's Final Four. If you can call it that, it's UConn and the other teams really. So, is there any shot that UConn don't come away with this dub, guys? I'm sorry with James.
There's no way, man. They win it. We all know it. What's the point of even watching, bro? We watch just to see how much they're gonna beat the other team by. That's what I watch for. I like to see them play basketball, but the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, yo, I wonder if they're gonna beat them by 40 or 50. That's it.
Terry.
Simple as that.
Okay. Yes, I do think teams have a chance to beat them. It is not the best chance in the world, but teams have a chance. As long as you play the games, you'll have a chance. If we would have did a podcast before March would have started, we would have said there was no chance that a 16 beat a one. A 16 beat a one quite handedly this year. So as long as we play the games, there is a chance. That is a very slim chance. If anybody's going to do it, I think it'll be Mississippi State, the same team that did it last year. But with them returning so much, but they have a slight chance. They'll have to get past Louisville first. They'll have to meet them in the championship game. Do I agree that UConn's women's basketball team is might be the best collegiate basketball team in the country right now, men's or women's? Some people could argue that, but they have a chance as long as they play the games.
They got no chance in hell. I'm just gonna be flat out honest. I mean, it's cool leaving that 1%, but they got no chance in hell. UConn gonna smash whoever they play first game, and you might as well just give them the ring after that because I mean it's over. I don't know what women's college basketball can do to stop that team. Like you have to start fixing up super teams like the Golden State Warriors or something. Like they gotta recruit. Y'all gotta stop this dynasty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Either stop going to UConn or the other guys need to just join on one squad because this is ridiculous. I mean, it's not even it's good for college basketball, but is it good at all? Because I mean, you even watch the game because you already know the result. So I don't know. It's bad. It's like what the Warriors are in the NBA now, but like times 3. Like that's the talent gap. But I don't know. Hats off to them. I'm gonna go ahead and congratulate them on the national championship right now. And moving on to the NFL. Free agency was about a month earlier this month, I should say. There was a lot of pricey signings and still some guys that are yet to be signed. Out of the earliest group, who do you guys think are the winners right now? I'll start with Fu.
Man, so right now, winners wise, I'm gonna start off Cleveland Browns. I never thought I'd say this, but going to get Jarvis Landry, Tyrod Taylor, and Jerry Boyd from the Packers, Mr. Randall. I feel like that's a solid. It's three solid trades, and you keep five picks in the top 60, so it makes sense. So you're gonna bring in young talent, got some veteran guys. I think they still have Greg Williams, that defensive coordinator in Cleveland. So you still giving him young talent. Hopefully they draft some. You still got Miles Garrett as a building block on that defense. You bring in a Tyrod Taylor just in case. I mean, you never know with the Browns. We're thinking they're gonna pick a quarterback. We just don't know until the draft. We won't know until April. But my hat's off to them, and then I'm gonna go with the San Francisco 49ers. I think an underrated running back is Jerry McKinnon. I feel like he's gonna fit what Shanahan wants to do, having a back like he had with Coleman and Freeman in Atlanta. He's gonna do the same thing with McKinnon, and I feel like they drafted a guy in the later rounds for San Francisco to help him out. And my boy, I'm biased as hell, Richard Sherman. He's gonna go to San Francisco, help the young DBs, and continue to flourish. I feel like when his back's against the wall, that's when he performs, and we're gonna see that. So that's my two winners for NFL free agency.
All right, what about you, Jerry? Who you got winning it?
Yeah, I agree with the Cleveland Browns. As much as it pains me to say that, it really does pain me to say that. I'm not as high on Demarius Randall as many are. He did okay. He did okay. He played okay. They're going to move him back to his collegiate position of safety. I do not know if he runs well enough to continue to play safety. But I mean, they got a project with him there. With getting Tyrod as that stopgap because they're going to draft a quarterback. I just don't see how they don't draft a quarterback having two picks in the top five. And I'm also going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, I think getting JPP for the price they got him for was a steal.
All right, my winners are got the Rams just because I mean they just loaded up. They have Aaron Donald and Naganamus on the same interior detail.
Oh, who?
Hey, bro, we're gonna go right past that name. Stu, we'll call him that. But anyway, to have him and Aaron Donald paired together is just not fair. I didn't agree with them letting Robert Quinn go because now they're pretty bad at defensive end. But I mean, with those corners they got and those 2D tackles, they'll be able to find some guys to get some pressure off the edge. My next guys, I got to give it to Philly. They re-signed a couple key guys, and they also got rid of a guy. And Torrey was costing a lot of money, and I thought they upgraded with Mike Wallace. And they also got Michael Bennett. I'm hoping his legal situation gets solved out. I think it's kind of unfair and unjust what's happening to him, but we'll figure out that more down the road. And my last winners, I got the Bears. I'm pretty salty because they took A-Rob from us, but they had a good haul. I think what they did sets up Mitch Trubisky, and if he can't get that offense rolling next year, then I think we'll know if he's the guy or not because he's got a solid O-line, a lot of playmakers on the outside. That kid's got to get it rolling next year. The Bears should, I think they should be locked in for about 7 wins, if at least. But let's move on to the losers. Who you got as your free agency loser so far, Jerry?
The Washington Redskins. I mean, just what have they done other than they gave Kirk Cousins left because he was going to cost too much money. You get Alex Smith, and you guarantee him too much money, in my opinion. I don't agree with as much money that they guaranteed him for a guy that is going to be a stopgap type of guy. He's there for a few years, and you're going to have to still get your franchise quarterback. So you lose a guy that would be your franchise quarterback because you didn't pay him last year. So for the Redskins, this really just is another one of Dan Snyder's just terrible decisions and how they continue to shoot the Washington Redskins in the foot. So they're just one of the top teams that come to mind.
All right, what about you, James?
I'm gonna go Arizona Cardinals. Quarterback wise, I don't see why you signed a Sam Bradford and Mike Glennon. I mean, those two guys competing. I don't get that at all. Then you let Honey Badger go. I get that he's making, what they think is too much money, and he wouldn't take a pay cut. But cutting that type of talent and let him just walk for nothing, is silly to me. And I think like it's showing your two best players that you don't really care. You're in the rebuilding mode. Larry Fitzgerald, I think he deserves better. He's just too loyal to Arizona. And the other one, surprising to me, is gonna be Patrick Peterson. I don't think I mean, he's happy in Arizona, but he's a competitor and he wants to win. So don't be surprised if we see him on the move next off season. If the Cardinals have another failing season, another 4-12, 3-13, I feel like his talent is going to waste. So you
They
may see him, request a trade or look to seek elsewhere.
they don't have the talent to win more than 5 games. I'll say that now. They can't win more than 5 games, especially in NFC West with what they got to run up against.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they it's terrible.
All right. My losers hurts me to say these guys. I think they lost. We had some puzzling decisions. We let A Rob walk to end up signing Marquise Lee to a long deal and also giving Dante Moncrief $10 million in 1 year for no reason. I mean, the guy's never had more than 700 some odd yards receiving in a year, and he's usually pretty injured. I don't get why you just don't let both of those, let Lee walk and use the money you'd have for Moncrief and Lee and just pay A Rob. I don't know I don't know what they're thinking with that. But I do say the Norwell signing was great. But outside of that, some of the signings are puzzling, especially the DJ Hayden signing. He's a terrible cornerback. He's awful, and we paid him a lot of money. So now I got to be a fan. Hopefully it'll be good. My other quick losers are Seattle and the Bills. Seattle lost a ton of guys. Sherman, Michael Bennett, and Jimmy Graham's out the door too. So lost a ton of talent. I don't know where the money's going to go. Hopefully they put it into the offense to protect Russell Wilson. But I don't really know what they're doing.
Good luck.
And the Bills are my last losers. Ton of quarterbacks out there. You let Tyrod go only to bring in AJ McCarron. And they traded up in the draft to the 12th pick. I mean, that's cool and all, but they're going to have to trade up again and lose more assets if they actually want to get a viable quarterback. So I don't know. They're kind of in no man's land right now, and I don't exactly know what the plan is there. But moving on, what are some of the most puzzling signings you guys have seen so far? Start with Jerry.
So Ben, you don't think Baker Mayfield's there at 12? Or are you not a Baker Mayfield fan? I know we're gonna have a draft podcast and everything, but so we're gonna live draft again. But I know you mentioned the Bills might have to move up again. So is Baker not there at 12 for you?
For me, I don't know if he's going to be there at 12. And even if he might be, I don't think your strategy should be to trade away those assets and just hope that this guy falls to 12. That's
okay.
Yeah, it's not very proactive to me. So
okay.
But I'll move on. What else you got, Jerry?
Oh, for the puzzling signings, Sammy Watkins and the Chiefs overpaid. AJ McCarron for the Bills. I know you just talked about that. Uh, uh, I I thought the Bills were constantly giving Tyrod the short end of the stick. I was literally speechless when it happened. I was like, what? Like I thought they constantly gave Tyrod the short end of the stick. They constantly moved pieces around. Another puzzling piece for me was the Patriots let Nate Soldier walk, and I think Brady having Nate Soldier there at left tackle was a big key to his success. And Nate Soldier is a guy that maybe doesn't get as much publicity as he should as a left tackle, but he's definitely in one of those upper echelon of left tackles. So those are the kind of the three biggest ones for me.
All right. What about you, James?
First, I'm gonna go Sammy Watkins. I don't know what the Chiefs are thinking. To be honest, I mean, I know the wide receiver market. Once A Rod went off the board, it was like slim pickings. But you don't overpay for Sammy Watkins, a guy who may give you 5 games max a season. I mean, he's a great talent. I don't think the kid has proven anything yet. So, what is it, 16 mil a year,
Yeah.
something like that? That's definitely unnecessary.
Absurd.
And the other one, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. Kirk Cousins,
Mm,
only because the fully guaranteed. I don't think the first person to get a fully guaranteed contract should be a Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
preach.
Let's just look at the
Yeah.
accomplishment. He
Yeah.
hasn't done anything in the playoffs. He has a losing record as a starter, if I'm not mistaken. And you get fully guaranteed money from the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, I like the Vikings. I like their defense. I think they just needed a couple more weapons on offense to make their team over the top. I didn't think they needed a Kirk Cousins getting a fully guaranteed contract to take them over the top. But the pressure's on. I mean, it's on him. That's what he wanted. He didn't want to be in Washington with Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden just dissing them, saying they got the upgrade with Alex Smith to the media. But we shall see, man. For right now, I think that's puzzling. I don't think he's worth the fully guarantee, but we're gonna find out.
All right, my puzzling signings. We all said Sammy, so I'm not even gonna touch on anymore. That was ludicrous. But Jags. I said already. The Moncrief signing that was very puzzling. Hopefully he balls. But I guess one thing I did disagree with Fu earlier. I didn't agree with the McKinnon signing. He got top 10 running back money, and I don't know if he's that guy. That was a lot of money for a running back, but well, hopefully in that system he could thrive, which maybe drives up the price. But we'll see. That was crazy money for him. But other than that, I don't know what the New York Jets are doing. Why would you sign Josh McCown and Teddy Bridgewater, and then you know you're going to end up drafting a rookie quarterback? So that's three guys. You're paying those guys $15 million this year plus whatever the rookie deal. With the rookie coming in, and I'm not sure you keep all three of those guys. So why even bring them in? So that's kind of puzzling to me. I don't understand what direction they're headed in that. But also one of the more puzzling things in free agency, the safety market. It hasn't moved at all. We couple good guys out there, Kenny Vaccaro, Eric Reed, and no one's picking up the phone. No one's making any offers. What do you guys think about that? I'll start it with Jerry.
I don't know because I honestly think we could be in the market for one of those safety guys, especially with letting Morgan Burnett walk, which I was not a huge fan of as well. So I don't know. It must be something. It might be a money type of thing. I mean, it's puzzling to me. I don't know if they're just waiting on somebody to set the market, and one of those top guys is just asking for too much before the market actually gets set. So I really don't know, but I think the market is there for a couple teams. There are there as far as needs, but I don't know why, especially with Morgan Burnett getting the deal done to the Steelers, and that was done in a couple days, and it was like boom, he's done. And all these other guys who maybe they're not on that Morgan Burnett type level yet, or some people might think they are, but I don't know. There must be some hangups in the other part of the deal making stage.
What do you feel about it, James?
I think it's a draft because looking at the safety prospects, I think it is some guys at the top of the draft they're going to take, but also some guys in later rounds because you have Mika Fitzpatrick, Derwin James, Ronnie Harrison from Alabama. And you got guys you get in the later round. We got Marcus Allen from Penn State. I think he's pretty solid. You got Quinn Blandon from UVA. I feel like he's going to be a later round pick, and then still, if you go to the right fit. And you got other guys. I mean, he probably Griffin, Shaquem Griffin. He'll probably move to safety. I think he'll be a guy from moving from linebacker to safety. It all depends. But the guys in the later rounds, I feel like they'll feel more comfortable with, and they're cheaper. Because look at the L.A. Rams with Josh Johnson at NC State, third round pick. And he's a baller. So that's a guy that's the position they didn't have to spend money at this free agency because they're waiting to draft it well. So I feel like that's what teams are waiting for. They're trying to do the philosophy of the better teams. Just how when Seattle Seahawks got Cam Chancellor, third round, fourth round guy, and some guys they can mold. So I think it's due to the free agencies and it's a good safety class. So we'll see after the draft. It'll start the lineup.
All right. I don't know. I mean, it is a pretty good draft class for, especially it's top heavy, but I still think guys like Eric Reed and Carl should have been snatched up by now. There's a lot of teams that especially the way the NFL works now. I mean, you need good safeties. So a lot of teams carry three good safeties and play them at the same time in some formation, especially like the Saints. That's why they were able to let Vaccaro go because they got so many good safeties right now. But yeah, it could just be an influx of talent in the whole position. But I'm hoping those guys get snatched up sometime soon. I would say we could take them, but we got a good safety last year. But I would love a guy like Eric Reed on this defense. But we'll see. I think those guys may get looks after the draft, but I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough market for those guys. All right, moving on. It's been a crazy offseason for trades. It's almost been like the NBA in that respect. How do you guys feel about some of the trades going on? Who's been making the best moves, and what's really got you guys talking? Started off with James.
What really got me talking, I was very surprised at the Browns. I thought they would just be basically conservative this offseason. I mean, they have been going after guys like last year was Tony Jefferson. They offered him the most money, but he's a smart man and he wanted to win, so he went to Baltimore. So basically, you gotta do it another way. They did it by trades. Jarvis Landry, Miami Dolphins didn't want to pay him. Tyrod Taylor, Buffalo Bills just want to get rid of him. I mean, they put it back up. The kid threw 6 interceptions. So they had to play Tyrod last year. The Packers, I feel like they want to redo the secondary, so let Randall get out of there. So the Browns are really making moves. I feel like they can attract more free agencies. I mean, for more free agents now. This all depends on what guys are going to take that gamble. Who's going to believe in Hugh Jackson with a 1-31 record with the Cleveland Browns? It would be pretty tough. But I would say the LA Rams as well because that surprised me, especially with the you know what I'm saying the A-Town stomp in the middle, Mr. Sue. But yeah, I don't think they really needed him on the D line, but they just pushed more fear in that defense. Like we're really gonna stop the run and lock it up on the outside, and that's a scary sight. I mean, Jacksonville still gonna have the best defense, but the LA Rams will be right behind them. So those two teams really surprised me. So we'll see how it goes the rest of the way, though.
All right, what about you, Jerry?
Yeah, really to piggyback off of that, I thought those were the two most surprising teams. What the Rams have been able to do lately really was surprising. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about Cleveland because they still have 5 picks in the top 60. So they really didn't spend a lot of capital to get what they thought they needed. They got a guy that's probably going to start for them in Demarius Randall for Deshaun Kaiser, who he's not going to obviously not going to start in Green Bay. He honestly might not be on the active roster. And come the season, he actually, I mean, it'll be in the preseason and training camp where he'll try to have to beat out Brett Hundley again. So he might not even be on the active roster because the Packers we're not going to carry more than 2 quarterbacks active unless somebody gets hurt. Then we'll move somebody in. So they got a starter for a guy who might not even play it for the other team. So that's a huge steal. They still have 2 picks in the top 5. And if they really play it out how they should and how it can play out, they can get a franchise quarterback and they can get who is my best player in the draft in Saquon Barkley and really turn that offense around. And if Hugh Jackson can't win with that, then Hugh Jackson needs to go home.
All right. Since we're talking about Hugh Jackson real quick, that man's a high school coach. Be dead ass. He's terrible. Shouldn't have a job. Just had to address that real quick. Moving on to my trade talk. I really like what the Colts did. I hate them as a team because they're division rival, but really thought making that trade, just going from 3 to 6 and acquiring what they got, 3 second-rounders, and still having the 6 overall pick, and still being able to get the edge rusher they probably want in either Chubb or Landry, depending on how the draft shakes out. I thought it was a pretty good move for them. Surprisingly smart coming from that organization. And one of the more peculiar things I talked about earlier, just the Bills. They got to make another move. So I think it's going to happen draft night or the week of the draft because they just can't sit back at 12 and watch whatever guy they want go. It's been big talk in the past week about OBJ in the trade market. It's been talked that he's not on the trade block. He's on the trade block. What do you guys feel about it? Do you think it's just BS, or do you think there's some truth? We'll start it with James.
I don't think there's any truth to him being traded. I don't think the Giants accept anything. I feel like he's gonna go through the same thing with Le'Veon Bell is going through right now. He's gonna go through a series of being franchise tag, threatening to retire, but he's gonna play the next year. I feel like, I mean, this is kind of off topic, but it's a bold prediction. Don't be surprised after this year if the Steelers try to shop Le'Veon Bell to get some draft picks or something. I mean, he is a great talent. He is the best back in the league to me, but they can't agree to a long term deal because he's unpredictable off the field. Is he gonna fail a drug test? Can you stay healthy? And with Odell Beckham, they're always going to have the off the field issues with him. Worry. It's just how it's going to be. I'm not worried about him being injury prone. I mean, that injury I think is just fluke. I think the guy can stay healthy for the most part. But I think the Giants are going to entertain every single trade talk that they get, every request, every alert, only because you never know what you can get from them. I mean, hell, if the Browns give me the, you know what I'm saying, the top four, I mean, their top two picks, shit, I might take it.
You better
but
take it.
uh,
I'll take it. Shit.
serious note, he's not gonna get traded for a couple of years. I feel like they're trying to work on the deal. He's not gonna get the money that he thinks he deserves, and hopefully he may eat some humble pie and take the contract offer if he wants to stay in New York. If not, I mean, get ready to get franchise tag for the next 2 or 3 years.
All right, Jerry.
Uh, to be honest, I think that the idea of untradeable players is just a myth. I think just as a general manager, you always listen to what anybody sends you any offer. You'll listen to the offer. I mean, some of them are more serious than others. I mean, obviously, but I think you always listen to the offer. So, do I think the Giants are listening to any offers that they get sent? Probably. Do I think the Giants are also asking for too much? Probably. Do I think OBJ is the one that's going to get shafted in the end? Probably. I think kind of like what James got into. I think we have another Le'Veon Bell situation where he's going to ask for a certain price for what he think he deserves. Whether I think he deserves that or not, that's for a whole nother discussion. But just due to the way the market is as far as wide receivers and such, he probably is not going to get it from New York. And New York is still going to own his rights, so they're probably going to franchise tag him. He might say, well, I'm going to retire, and they'll say, well, we're still going to own your rights when you come back. So, there's just a lot of other additives to this situation that's going to happen. I think he's going to end up being franchise tagged multiple times because I just don't think people are not going to give them the Giants the offer that they want. Now, if the Browns were silly enough to say, hey, we'll send you the first, the four, and our mid-second round pick, I think, is in the 40s, I think the Giants will make that deal, but they won't do that. So
I'm gonna be honest. I'll go a little curveball with it. I actually think he will eventually be traded. It's just the way the Giants front office works out. They never really meshed with outlandish guys like an OBJ. They're clean cut organization, and they just don't. It doesn't matter how good the player is; they'll move on from you. And I honestly think they are entertaining trade talks. I think it won't take as much as some people are saying. Definitely won't take a first and a fourth overall pick. No one would give that up for damn near anyone that's not a quarterback. So I don't think the Browns would even conceive of giving that up. I think what it would take is a first round pick coupled with a solid defensive end, and I think the Giants will move on that. They got a huge opening at DN. They can still keep their second overall pick and get an extra first rounder so they can build a lot of talent with that. I think that could get the deal done. But as far as compensation for OBJ, he's getting at least 20 million. If Sammy's getting 16 mil, which is I think a little bit more, hair more than Mike Evans got maybe, or right around the same, then it's ridiculous. Oh, that was the best thing that ever happened to Odell Beckham Jr. because he's getting that 20 million. You can't say it otherwise for what he does on the field. Like Fu said, the injury was a fluke. The guy will come back hungry, ready to go. I don't ever see him retiring because I think he loves the game too much, and I don't know what else he'd do. He'd go mad without football. You already see him. He's crazy half the time. You take football away from him, that guy might end up in a loony bin. So I think he might get moved. We'll see. Hopefully they can work it out, but I wouldn't be surprised if he actually ended up getting traded. Real quick, we had a little fan request from Scott Fahey, old Scotty Too Hottie. He wanted me to mention that the Browns will be better than the Bengals this season. What do you guys think? What do you guys think on that hot take right there? I'm gonna start with Jerry first.
I get to start.
Ain't this so big?
Yeah.
Okay, I will say this. If the draft falls the way that I predict the draft will happen, which means at number one, and I know we're going to talk about the draft a little bit in a second, and we're going to do our live draft like we did last year. I know we're going to handle all of that. But if the draft falls how I predict it will happen, meaning that at one, the Browns get to pick whoever they think is their best fit. You might say Josh Rosen, you might say Sam Darnold, you might say Josh Allen, whoever they think is their best guy at number one. If they get to pick that guy, and then at number four, they get to turn around and pick who I think is the best player in the NFL draft, Saquon Barkley, at number four. And with what they've added with Jarvis and what they've added Tyrod so they can get through this season, I think that they could be a team that could go in that 7 and 9 range, win 6, 7 games, and maybe beat out the Bengals by a game. It won't be a lot, but maybe by a game.
All right, I'm gonna go real quick before James because I want this to boil over
a lot of
fast
time.
form.
Yeah, he need a lot of time to get built up.
I'm gonna be honest, deadass, the Browns should be better than the Bengals next year, but Hugh Jackson's the head coach. So hell no, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not gonna say a man that is 1-31 in the past 2 years can do better than any other NFL team. Okay. So I'm not gonna say that. You give them CNU's daggone defensive line coach as their head coach, they'll win more games than Hugh Jackson. So any other coach gets more wins there than Hugh. But since Hugh's there, the Bengals got the little hat tip. But the Browns do have more talent than the Bengals. I will say that. James?
First of all, I'm gonna start off with that statement you said. The Browns did not have more talent than the Bengals. I feel like we do draft well. We took the sleeper in the draft that you wanted, Mr. Lawson. So how about you eat on that? I feel like I feel wildly disrespected by Scott right now to even mention that or bring that up. But yeah, I mean I wouldn't be surprised honestly. I feel like we don't put enough people around AJ Green. We don't even utilize John Ross right. I mean Marvin Lewis did not like the kid at all. And I don't get it.
Make a nice
So
cornerback.
relax.
Can he cover? Probably not. He can run though. He's fast.
To be honest with you, I think this is what we need for Marvin Lewis to get fired. So I'm on board with it. If the Browns have a better season than us and Marvin Lewis isn't fired, I really would switch teams. I'm filling out applications for the Packers, the Jaguars, the Eagles. Like I would be done with the Bengals. I know I say that a lot because I'm a diehard Bengals fan, but I cannot take the Cleveland. Imagine the Cleveland Browns beat us twice and had a better record. Yo, I wouldn't show my face no more. I'm deleting my Twitter, my Instagram, all that's going in the trash. Off that.
Hey, bro, the Browns almost beat the Jags and the Packers last year. It came down to the wire.
Keyword almost.
I'll be the first to say if they were not the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Kaiser was not an idiot, they would have beat the Packers last year. I'll be the first to tell you that. I watched the whole game right in front of my TV. Almost cried. But if Deshaun Kaiser was not who he is, which is another reason why I think the Demarius Randall trade was a steal for them, because Deshaun Kaiser might not even be on the Packers roster. They could have they should have beat us. But I will say, James, if the Browns beat y'all twice and Marvin Lewis is still your coach, we will gladly accept. We'll let you pick another team because after that you deserve the rights to say I'm going to move my fandom to somewhere else because this is just too much. That's too much on any one man.
All right, we gotta move on. Thanks again to Scott Fate for that little fan request. We're gonna talk real quickly about the draft and move on to the NBA. Just we'll just talk about quarterbacks right now. Do you guys think the quarterback's gonna go in the first 3 or 4 picks straight? And also, if you were the first overall, if you were the Browns, who are your top 2 quarterbacks on your board that you're taking? We'll start it off with James.
If I'm the Cleveland Browns, my top two quarterbacks are Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen. I like Rosen because I like his demeanor. I feel like he's a competitor. I know they have some questions about his character off the field, but I think he's just a young kid who speaks his mind. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think his play, I think when he showed me against Texas A&M, when he led that comeback, it was remarkable. I feel like that's the edge Cleveland Browns need at quarterback. I don't think they like personality wise, they don't need a Sam Darnold. They don't need a yes man. A guy who's going to say yes to everything because that's not what's going to help the Cleveland Browns. They have tried that in the past. They've been through goddamn 30 plus quarterbacks. None of them have worked. So they need a guy like Rosen to me, a guy with some character, some guy with a little bit of edge who wants to win. I think Sam Darnold, when he gets drafted number 1, he's just going to be satisfied with that.
All
So
right.
either one of those two is good with me. But for the quarterback question, I think it is going to be like 3 or 4 in a row because I see the New York Giants trading back. Because I don't feel like they draft the quarterback just from respect for Eli, and I feel like they just need more picks, especially getting rid of Paul and all that. So I feel like we'll see them trade back. An unexpected team will probably trade up in the number 2 spot just to pick a quarterback.
All right. What about you, Jerry?
I think the Giants are going to work a deal, maybe with the Bills and someone else in that top 10 area because I think the Giants want to slide back some, but it also, if the Giants are trading out, that must mean that they're not as high on Saquon Barkley as I am, which I think is silly. I would pick him at 2. I probably would pick him. I wouldn't have a problem if I were the Browns with picking him at 1. And this is how that could happen. The Browns could say that Josh Allen is their man. I am not a fan of Josh Allen. The man has a 56% completion rating percentage. He can throw the ball 80 yards, yeah, but he can't hit the broadside of a barn some days. So
Like Jamarcus Russell.
yeah,
No disrespect
he
to Marcus Russell like that.
Jamar he could be a Jared Lorenzen. I mean, minus about 25 pounds. But so the Browns could make that move, and then of course we see Saquon, and then we see a run on quarterbacks. But if I am the Browns, I think the top 2 guys by far are Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen. I give Rosen a little bit of an edge just because I like that competitiveness he does show, kind of like James said. But as far as physical capabilities, they're right there neck and neck.
All right, for me, it's kind of hard to do my top 2 quarterbacks because 2 of the guys are like tied. But I'd say number 1 guy who I think is going to be a surefire great quarterback is Josh Rosen. I don't really think he has any knocks to his game. Kid can ball out, and I'd be highly surprised if he doesn't have a productive NFL career. For my number 2 guy, it's between Baker and Lamar Jackson, actually. But I'm gonna give it to Lamar because honestly, people talk about Josh Allen and his potential. I don't know how that guy could have more potential than Lamar Jackson, who could do everything Josh Allen can do, but better and can add a lot more to your offense. So I think his potential is really through the roof. He can be a Vic with the run game and also a Wilson with the arm. So that guy can really swing it. And as far as the quarterback run, I do think at least the first 3 picks are going to be all quarterbacks. I think 4 might end up being a quarterback too. The Giants, like Jerry said, they're going to trade out of that pick. And my bold prediction is Josh Allen goes 3rd overall to the Jets. So I think that's going to happen. Unfortunately, I mean he'll make a fine tight end in the NFL, but that's not what they're drafting the guy for. So my condolences to New York. All right, moving on to the NBA real quick. Got us in the season, a lot of injuries piling up. Steph's bad old ankle's coming back, which is good for Braun. But
His
Celtics
knee.
got some injuries
It's
too.
his knee. It's his knee.
Okay, his knee now, ankle of 1 week, knee the next week. The guy's breaking down. Put it like that. So should the Warriors worry, and should the Celtics be worried about their injuries too coming in the playoffs? James.
Celtics, I'm gonna say yes, only because of Kyrie Irving, that knee, man, you never know. And I feel like with Gordon Hayward already being out, I think it's gonna be too much pressure on their young guys. I mean, I really do like Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, really two good wings. You have Marcus Smart coming back, but not having Kyrie there, especially, I mean, the Eastern Conference is the weaker conference. I think they can manage through until have to meet Cleveland. But if they meet Cleveland with no Kyrie Irving, it's a wrap. I think it may go to 5. But moving to Golden State, no, I'm not worried because when the guy y'all like to praise and not criticize, Kevin Durant, when you go to a 7-3-9 team, you can afford for a Steph Curry to get hurt.
That's true.
I feel like, yeah, if Steph Curry is hurt and say like a Klay Thompson or Kevin Durant is out for an amount of time, yes, I would be worried because if you have Draymond Green as your number 2 option, you're not going anywhere. And we've seen Draymond Green get fake hurt against the San Antonio Spurs when he was the number 1 option. This man put up 0 points in a full quarter. He played all 12 minutes. He got 1 rebound. So
We're
don't
not
y'all
gonna get you started on Draymond tonight.
listen to Jerry. Don't you ever say he can average 20 and 12. I'm still pissed off about that. I'm still pissed off. I'm gonna bring it back up. Don't you ever say Draymond Green can average 20 and 12. I'm the biggest Draymond Green hater. You're Garbo. You're a role player. Sit it down, bud.
We gotta get Draymond on the show.
Please. I would love that.
All right, Jerry.
I almost forgot where we were. I almost forgot where we were going after hearing this barrage of Draymond Green hate from. I'm not even. We're not going to relitigate that tonight. Should the Boston Celtics be worried? Yes, because they have to play LeBron James before they get to the finals. So yes, they should be worried. That's simple. Should the should the Golden State Warriors be worried? Worried of what? Who? Worried of
Houston,
whom?
bro. Houston.
Houston. They, they they won't have to play Houston before May. That's 2 months from now.
Hey, you're gonna have a gimpy Steph out there, bro. And
Got a
I'm just
gimpy
saying.
Steph. Oh, okay. So the series is gonna go 7 games instead of 6. Okay. Bird. I'm so scared. Ooh, no, they have not. They don't have anything to worry about.
All right. Pretty much. We all got the same answers. Boston definitely should be worried. Them boys. I don't think they're gonna make it to the conference finals at all. But Warriors, as long as Steph can bounce back, I think they'll be all right. And even if Steph's 50%, if KD can't carry that team, then I don't want to hear that man's name again. Um, Moving on from that, LeBron James has been it's arguably one of his best seasons of his career, and he's been in the league for 15 years.
Okay.
Um, People come at Cleveland, they say they're not that good this year, but I think that just heightens what LeBron did this year. He went to the majority of this season pretty much playing with no all stars. K Love was in and out of the lineup. Kyrie's out of the door, so he's playing with Jordan Clarkson, Rodney Hood. Jr. got shipped out. Jr. still there, and Shump got shipped out. It was just a makeshift team, and he still got him here. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't think KD is getting that Cavs team to the playoffs. I'm gonna be dead ass about it.
Mm.
So let's talk about his dominance, Jerry.
Ooh.
What we're not gonna do is what we're not gonna do is in the raising of LeBron James bash Kevin Durant, who is arguably one of the greatest players that we will see as well. We're not gonna just to raise LeBron James. We're
What?
not gonna bash Kevin Durant.
He's
Now
the
is
greatest,
LeBron
greatest talent, that player.
is LeBron? Oh, no, he's not the. Oh gosh, okay. We're gonna hear 73-9 until he dies and has 4 rings. Okay, big deal, big deal. No, is LeBron James having a great season? Yes, they got some good pieces. He got Tyron. He got Ty Lue. Ty Lue's more scared than when AI crossed him up and stepped over him, which I never have gained. He has never regained my respect from. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to just raise LeBron James and then bash other players. Is LeBron having arguably his best season of his career? Yes. He's 6'8", 260 and runs like a gazelle. He's got some God-given talent that nobody has ever graced the basketball court with and might ever grace the basketball court with again. So, but we're not going to raise his game. We're not going to degrade other players. I mean, he's great. Yes, we'll give you that.
James.
Well, sorry, Jerry, I'm not gonna listen to you. But if we look at LeBron James, year 15, this shows why he is the greatest player we ever got to witness, and maybe the best player we ever witnessed in history of the game. But I'm gonna leave that for another day. But man, what LeBron is doing is spectacular. You lose Kyrie Irving, you lose a top point guard. Okay, they bring in Isaiah Thomas, didn't work out. They bring you young guys that you need. You need big athletic guards. So you bring in the George Hill and Jordan Clarkson. I feel like LeBron's gonna elevate their game when playoff time comes because that's what he does. He helps his teammates out. He plays through them. I think with Kevin Love coming back, his mind is better. Salute to him. His mental health. He looks better out on the court. But I'll never count out a LeBron James team because we forget the team when he first went to the finals. The guys that he took to the finals, I don't even know where they at right now. Don't know what they're doing with their lives. Don't really care. But in year 15, he's doing what he did then, even better. Evolved his game. I feel like he's going to go through the Celtics. It's going to be tough. And then I feel like they're going to be down to the Raptors in the series. Probably be down 2-1. And then you're going to see LeBron cut it on, lead his team, and go to the finals. I mean, if he sees the Warriors or the Rockets, the Rockets, it's a fair shot. But the Warriors, I don't think they can match up. Because who do you have to slow down Steph Curry? I'm not worried about KD, Kevin Coward, Durant. I mean, when you join the 7-3 and 9, I'm gonna bring it back up. There's no pressure on him. Like, and Jerry knows this. If say when the Chicago Bulls they beat the Utah Jazz, right? And my man Karl Malone was like, man, look, I'm about to go join Pippen, Rodman. Let me go ahead and join this squad. We wouldn't respect Karl Malone. So I don't know why y'all pushing everybody to respect Kevin Durant. That's a coward move. That's stuff that you wouldn't tell your kids to do. That's like with me when I was playing football. I lost my junior year to Oscar Smith, the top team in our area. Came close twice, but never as a competitor in my mind. I'm like, yo, let me go join them if I can't beat them. And that's what he did. Even with OKC, he had free agents saying if Kevin Durant goes back to Oklahoma City, Al Horford, he wouldn't have made a big difference. That's a solid player. Al Horford saying, I will go to OKC. And he waited, and then he had to go sign with the Boston Celtics. So don't give me that bull crap that OKC couldn't bring in players. You went to Golden State. The All-Star? Yeah, the All-Star.
Okay. Draymond Green's
All-Star. Jerry, it's like
the fault.
What if Allen Iverson joined the Lakers after the Lakers smacked them up in the finals? Niggas wouldn't look at the same.
He wanted to win. He wanted to win.
So you can win by joining the best team. Yo, they broke the record for the most wins. The most wins.
All right, moving on. All right, we got real quick. We'll end up on this NBA topic before we go to our closing thoughts. What's going on with Kawhi and the Spurs? I'll touch on it first. It's a very peculiar situation. The team thinks Kawhi can play. I think even his teammates think he can play. And apparently they had a team meeting about a week ago pleading him to play. It's the playoffs. They need their boy back. They can make a run. But I don't know. He just doesn't suit up. I don't know if it's in his head or he just doesn't want to be in San Antonio anymore. But it's a tricky situation. And honestly, as a former player, if you can play and you just choosing not to play for your team, especially with the playoffs around the corner, you're kind of a hoe, just to be honest. And I wouldn't want you as my teammate. And if I pled for you to come play with us because we need to get this ship, and you didn't want to play with us, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And I think as an organization, we should part ways. So that's my two thought on it. What you got on it, Jerry?
Uh, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he can play, but he's not playing. We don't know why. I don't know if he's just disliking what's going on as far as one of the coaches pissed him off, or Pop pissed him off, or GM pissed him off, or his ex-girlfriend pissed him off. I don't know. I mean, we don't. That's just answers we don't to questions we don't know. I think what Tony Parker said the other day was really telling. I think he kind of let it slip up when he said that he had the same injury as Kawhi had, but it was 1,000 times worse, and or something to that effect. I don't think he meant to really let that slip out because I think there was some locker room things that they were talking, but I don't know why Kawhi is not playing, but it's obvious there's a disconnect with what's going on with him and the front office and the GM and the coaches. And I think they just need to make a amicable split. I don't know where he's going to go because now he's going to have to answer those questions forever, but we'll see.
All right, James.
On this one, always respect the Spurs and Coach Pop. And I'm team Kawhi on this one, and this is a reason. Only because we bash players. We can't bash him for taking care of his body. Only he knows how he feels. And if he doesn't feel 100% ready, and they always say it throughout his whole career, Kawhi Leonard is not going to play if he's not 110%. If he's at 90, he's not going to play. If he's at 80, he's not going to play. Because he's not going to want to hurt himself or the team. And people forget this is a business. NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB is a business. So he's taking care of Kawhi Leonard. If I feel like if I play this year and I can mess up my opportunity to make more millions for my family, yeah, I can get the max of 200 million, max contract to San Antonio. If I think I can mess that up by getting hurt and having a bad performance this year, yeah, of course I'm gonna sit out. Because it's a business at the end of the day. They're trying to paint him out as selfish. And I feel like the front office is trying to go through his teammates like a Tony Parker and a Milo Ginobili. But we had Steven Jackson call out Tony Parker on being a selfish teammate. And he's not a Mr. All That, a good guy, class guy. He's basically been called out in other facets. So I mean, I get what Kawhi is doing. If San Antonio doesn't like it, let them walk. Because they build with from drafting players, stashing them overseas, developing them. So if they believe in their system and they don't want to pay the man that money, it's teams like the LA Lakers. Other teams are gonna have a lot of cap room to go after the Kawhi Leonard, a guy who doesn't get in trouble off the court, strictly about basketball, and is dedicated to the team. But as he should put himself first. That's not being selfish. That's being a smart businessman. And you're gonna see more players starting to do that. Because if it was LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Steph Curry, I feel like they'll put their health before going out there and hurting, re-injuring themselves, having a more severe injury that's gonna linger throughout your whole career.
Respect that. Respect that. All right, well, moving on. Closing thoughts. We hit our time limit, so we're just gonna go over these little final nitpicks. First, I'm gonna shout out old Tunde Ogun, a CNU football legend. He's a firefighter now. He was in a gym workout. If you ever seen the guy, you definitely know he works out. But he was working out, of course, and I think someone went into cardiac arrest maybe or passed out, fainted, and he found the nearest defibrillator and just pretty much saved the person. He did his job. He's a firefighter, did what he's supposed to do, and he's a hero. He's a legend in CNU football, a lore, and I got to shout the guy out for what he did this past week. And I think somebody on the Young Old Heads podcast staff had a special week. I want to shout out James and Chance on their engagement. Boy's about to be a married man soon. What's up, James? How you feeling, man?
Oh yeah, I get to marry the girl of my dreams, but I'm broke than a motherfucker. Yeah, so cash at me like $3, everybody. Help to the cause. I'm starving. I can't eat lunch this week. Nah, but I appreciate it, fellas. Big step. Getting married. Not soon. It'll take a little bit, but I appreciate it. Congratulations.
No problem. No problem. Anybody else got any closing thoughts around here?
Man. Go ahead,
Yes,
Jerry.
sir.
Oh, great hire by Louisville today. I think they hired Chris Mack. They coach from Xavier. I think they should have just did a coaching trade because I think Xavier should call David Paget, who was the interim coach for Louisville this year, was in a no-win situation. Also, shouts out to Jeff Capel. If you know anything about Jeff Capel and his family, ESPN did a great story on his Jeff Capel, and he's from a coach's family, so you should look that out. And he got hired at Pitt. They have like 12 guys transferring next year. So Jeff has a long road ahead of him, but he was at VCU. Then he was at Oklahoma, Coach Blake at Oklahoma. Then he went back to Duke, where he played with Coach K, and he was associate head coach there. Great guy all around. So I'm wishing Jeff all the best in Pittsburgh.
All right. You got anything, James? Or you done?
My closing thoughts, simply as this. Shout out to my Duke boys, man. Y'all had a great year. Duval, please declare for the draft. I don't want to deal with you next year. Shout out to Cable. I mean, well deserved. I thought he was gonna stick around. Basically, since when Coach K retires, I thought he maybe step in. But we're gonna lose a great recruiter for Duke. He's the reason we got them top 3 players is because of him. Hopefully, he does turn around Pittsburgh, who went 0 and 19 in the
In
ACC.
the ACC, yeah. Oh, and
But
18, 19, something
good
like
luck
that.
with that, bud. But yo, Duke Nation, shout out, man. We still here. UNC garbage. Go Texas A&M, way to go Aggies. Just throw that in their face. But other than that, go Duke, baby. You already know.
All right. Well, this has been episode 15 of the Young Old Heads podcast, and this has Ben Thompson signing out.
It's your boy Jay Fair.
And it's your boy, Uncle Jerry, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby.
Childish.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Catch y'all next time.